hours a week for work, apparently may have some issues with, not apparently, they will have issues with severe neck and back pains. This morning, physical therapist Dr. Nicholas Bromley joins us to discuss some of the reasons why this happens and what you can do to help relieve the pain. Morning, sir. Welcome.
Morning, man. How are you?
I can't complain. Give thanks. All is well?
Yes. Yeah, man, so far.
So just the fact that we are sitting there, or is it our posture? Maybe we're not sitting properly. Is just the fact that we're sitting down, we're going to have problems?
So essentially, there are several injuries that can be incurred just on your day-to-day job, right? And we're here to speak specifically more so to persons who have a desk job or work in an office setting, right? We've been getting a lot of complaints about persons who are having neck and back pains because they're basically sedentary, sitting there all day at their workstation, whether it be working with their laptop or their desktop or just having to do some sort of repetitive task all day at their workstation. So we know, based on research, that 40% of work-related injuries, actually over 40% of work-related injuries are persons complaining of back pain. About 33% people complain of neck pain, and this is in an office setting, right? So that is really what's happening.
But again, is it just because, like I'm sitting here, is it because me slouch or because me lean back so, or I don't sit properly, or just the fact that you're just sitting there for a while?
So there are several factors that can contribute to this kind of thing. Number one, you have to look at the ergonomics. And when we say ergonomics, it's just a fancy word for how your workstation is set up, because you might not be using the proper chair and desk combination to do your tasks, right? Secondly, if you're sitting in one place for hours without taking breaks, you don't get up and move around, then of course you're kind of setting yourself up to have tension, aches and pains in certain areas. Thirdly, then of course, if you're working in a job where you have high stress situations, you have deadlines to meet constantly. So, for example, we actually did a health and wellness talk for a set of accountants at an accounting and auditing firm. And when we assessed some of their staff, these are young people too, and I talk about big people, persons between 21 and 35 having chronic neck and back pains. And they're auditors, accountants, and persons doing jobs like that. And when you analyze their situation, how many hours they spend sitting in one place doing one thing, then obviously you're going to set yourself up for some sort of issue.
Okay. How do you fix that? I mean, Delia does an afternoon radio program for about 4 or 5 hours. It's not like she can just get up and say, I'm going out the road and I soon come back. So she has to be there. I suspect she can stand up every now and again. But what kind of suggestion you would have for people who really and truly can just get up every minute and say, I soon come back, I hurt me?
Right. Well, okay. There are definitely ways you can mitigate these problems, right? Number one, you can employ certain little stretches and movements, even sitting at your desk. So, for example, every now and again, you can cut your ten like this, lean forward, and stretch out your piriformis muscles, or, a little hamstring stretch here and there.
What kind of muscle, eh?
That's a piriformis.
We have the muscle, eh?
Everybody has it.
I first smeared on him.
So a lot of people have back pains because you see the supporting structures that hold the spine in its proper alignment are not doing their job. So if we sit...
Explain that.
Right. So pretty much you have some erector spinae muscles. You don't have to get into the fancy terms.
Right.
You have muscles, tendons and ligaments that hold your pelvic girdle and your spine in the right way or shape or alignment. Now, our bodies weren't designed to stay one place. And if these muscles are not adequately activated, what you find is that they start to slack off and it puts you in slouched positions. And it feels good. You sit down like this and you're on your phone all day. But what you're doing is setting yourself up for poor postural positions that essentially will cause problems down the line with your spine. You can have what we call a slip disc or start to have sciatic pain and so on. But the problem is, a lot of us ignore the warning signs. And pain basically is your body's alarm system. So it tells you when something is wrong, or it even can tell you that there's potentially damage to be had. So if it is that you feel discomfort,
do something about it.
Do something about it. Don't wait until Lord's sharp pain and you have to run to the doctor.
Yeah.
Right? So essentially, my suggestion is this. If you can, every hour, stand up, move around, go drink some water, use the bathroom, come back, and, keep it moving. But to sit there for hours and hours on end is definitely not a good.
While you are sitting, give me another exercise. You gave me the cut your ten one. Give me
so
another.
you have that one. You can even simply do some what we call lat push-ups like that. Get the upper body moving. You can put your hands behind your head, neck, and just stretch out like this. Just open up your thoracic spine. Turn, twist, release your spine a little bit. Deep breaths. And just try to reduce your stress level as best as.
How long or how often during the day? So again, we're really not at the desk for 8 hours. We're at work for 8 hours, but how long if we sit for 3-4 hours? How often do we decide to do something? Every hour, every half hour?
So if possible, every half hour or every hour, if you can just move around, do something, it would be good. There are actually even certain exercise equipment that you can put under your desk, a little peddler. And another thing too, Neville, that that's getting more popular are standing workstations. So you can actually raise up the level of your desk so that you can stand up and work rather than sit there all day.
But you don't want to stand all day either?
No, man, you alternate. So you sit down sometimes and sometimes you stand up. And you do your work same way, you get your tasks done.
If for whatever reason, as you already said, don't wait till you have to go doctor. But
True.
if I start feel a little thing,
Right.
is there any way I can,
So the thing about it is this. So at my office or my company, we actually offer health and wellness seminars and conferences that we go into your workplace and we analyze your office space. We assess your staff and check out what can be going wrong. Because look here, truth be told, if your staff is in pain and they're not going to function, they're not going to be productive. So you will see your company's yields go down.
Yeah, and when you go to these companies, do you find that we have the right seats? Because some of them, whether you like it or not, you're going to end up kind of like that. Do you find, and isn't that important also?
So sometimes it's not that they don't have good chairs, but they might need additional support. So we might recommend they get a good lumbar support cushion or some sort of, back support. And of course, we show them where the desk and chair should be, where your laptop screen should be, how far your mouse should be, and so forth, to kind of minimize some of these problems.
So one of them is like this, and you say,
you just come like this, square your leg like so.
Yeah.
Come to the edge of the chair if you can. You just lean forward, breathe in, breathe out.
Yeah. And you can even feel it inside here too.
Yes, man. So if you have tight hamstrings, glutes, and those things can actually affect your back because it's part of what we call the posterior chain.
Okay, and the next one is
just up and down like this.
Yeah.
That's the second one. You can stand and stretch like that.
I like it.
Yes, man. Turn.
Yeah, man.
Just do a few twists.
May I go home?
Yes, man.
I like this.
Hands behind your head.
All right.
Open up. Take a deep breath in and exhale.
Take care, my brother. Come on.
Respect.
That feels good.
Yes, man.
All right, but it's important.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
And you're saying you're getting a lot of folks coming in, and that's the reason.
And even children too, especially over COVID period where they were going to school online. They were just in their couch at the table, which is not a proper workstation.
I have a little arms out thing in me all the while, and I went through so much, Push up or sit up?
I think the push-ups.
Walk or run?
I would say, for the average person, brisk walking. You can run, but again, you can incur repetitive stress on certain muscles. And the thing about running, here in Jamaica especially, the surface you run on.
Off.
Man.
And we don't have the proper footwear most of the time.
Half the time, no.
I love how you explained.
Yeah, man. Respect.
Beautiful, I'm impressed. He's a physical therapist. He's Dr. Nicholas Bromley. 10 minutes to your health. We'll do it again next Thursday.
All right, thank you.